And a warm welcome to you guys. It's Boat Extras. Yes. And we've had a constructive day. We've opened up 57. You'll already know that because you'll probably be watching this 57 before this one. And you'll know that this one, we've just put this in. John's just left. So that's number 2 window in. I think we struggled a little bit more than we did with that one, to be perfectly honest. Although John did quite a bit of the work, all the umphing and huffing and puffing. But I tell you what, we used some of this lubricant with a straw on it, and we put it in there. That did make a difference for him when he was putting the chrome strip. You can see the window if I just put you outside there. Can you see? There. So yeah, so yes, we've started that one off. That's been a good job. We were a bit delayed because one of my MGs, as I probably mentioned actually, the black one, Ebony, she has now gone to my dad's because she's heading to Scotland. So yeah, she's I was sorry to see her go. Really didn't get a chance to use her very much. However, we've got another car that has been in storage for 3 years. I've never well, I haven't seen her, to be honest, for at least 2.5 years anyway. And that is there you go, look. Isn't she a cutie? And she's a Morris 8 1935, all completely original and actually fully restored as well. So you'll see her on the channel. I think I've got to do the brake linings, but hey, that isn't a boat channel, is it? No. So anyway, the reason why I'm on here is because I know we finished off the gas bottle area, but I just wanted to I came up with an idea of securing it down just to satisfy the gas certification. It may be belt and braces. I may not need to have done this, but I've done this instead, as you can see. So that is clipped, so that's not moving anywhere because that's clipped into position, and obviously you just unhook it like that, and then on one on that side, and then you can slide it out. So it shouldn't, in all fairness, I mean, that's not going anywhere, it's not lifting up either. So I think that's a jolly good idea, and I think that will satisfy everybody concerned. So I don't know what the next job for me to do is actually, but I'll have a wander around the boat and I will tell you, and we'll take it from there. So anyway, I just thought I'd open the episode up and say hello, welcome back. So I shall find some other job to do, and I will see you very shortly. And a good morning to everybody, good afternoon or even good evening, welcome back. So what am I doing? Well, I'm having to spray this window. We were meant to put this in today, but there were so many chips and bangs and what have you that I've had to knock that episode on the head for now. So I'm going to do some more spraying, and because it's a Sunday, there's nobody about and it's marvellous. I'm the only one on the site, which is nice and quiet. The day is really calm, and I'm going to spray it outside. So that'll be good, because if I spray it on the inside, even though I've covered Millie up over there, you can see her, she's out of the nursing home and she's now living here. We don't want to cover her up with a load of spray, do we? So I'm going to take the opportunity of a good day. The sun's not out at all, so that's good. So I'm going to just spray this. I don't think you need to know how to do it because you've seen it a million times, haven't you, already? But as I say to you, these are things that just crop up unannounced and you've just got to get on with it. I am changing tack slightly. I used a spray filler, but because I managed to rub down most of these issues, I'm using this particular product. I don't know whether, I can't see out here. Can you see that? Oh, of course you can't because I had the camera the wrong way around. So I'm using Hyco Etch Primer. Etch Primer, if you don't know, it's like a sealing coat. So anything, you can spray anything over the top of that and it shouldn't react, as we know. So I'm going to, while this can is nice and hot, because I've got the water over there, as you can see, steaming away. So this can is nice and hot. It's a brand new can, so we've got maximum pressure. And I'm going to give this a quick blast and let's see how we go. So I shall just put you down over there so you don't get sprayed on. And, well, be back in a minute. Oh, I see. Doesn't want to switch off. Right. That's pretty dry actually. That can had a fan tip on it, and it definitely makes such a difference when you've got a tip that is fan. It jets out like a proper spray gun in an arc like that, and you've got so much more control and evenness coming out. I'm definitely an advocate for that. So that has dried pretty well. I've just given it, I gave it a light coat and then I gave it a full coat, and we're only literally I don't know, 15 minutes into it, and it's fully dry, I think. So I'm going to give it a blast of the metallic. That's warming up. This is a new can as well, so we should have maximum power out of that. So stay tuned and you'll see the next stage done quickly. Right, so it's had 2 top coats and it's had 1 dry coat of lacquer and 1 full coat of lacquer. So there you are, that's the finished article. That seems to be alright, fingers crossed. We won't know because I'm using new type of lacquer, and I'm hoping it's not going to react. At the moment it's sort of not reacting, he says. You never know with this stuff. So there we go. That's another job done. Unforeseeable issue. So it's just stopped us from filming what we wanted to film today, but that is what life is all about when it comes to boat restoration. So I shall find another job to do and I will be back with you very shortly. So bye for now. And a fine afternoon to you. It's a Saturday. I can't tell you what date it is because I can't remember. What date is it, watch? It is Saturday the 18th, so by the time you see this boat extras, you would have seen that those windows are in there. So that's good. And we've got that one to go in next, down there. And what am I up to? Well, I'll tell you what I'm up to. I'm up to doing, well, I'm having to redo the main event, this window, and I'm debating whether to do both sides or not, because as you can see, you can just about, oh, I don't know whether you can or not, you can just about make out the yellow primer going through, so there's hardly any paint on there. I don't know what I was thinking, but there's no primer on it, and the problem with that is that I can't just go and spray lacquer on it. I can't go and spray it on this stuff. I've got to flat it all off, so it means I'm going to have to do it all again. You can see there, can't you? If I just... Can you see there how yellow it is? So, you know, I'm going to have to paint it. There's no two ways about it. So that's the reason why there's a big slow up of videos coming out, because Johnny Boy is waiting for me. You would have also seen the parcels that have arrived with regards to the dashboard. I still would like some feedback on that, because I'm right. Half of me wants it original, and the other half says, well, wouldn't it be nice to have a load of clocks so you can see, you know, everything that's going on? But do you know, these boats were made at the time in 1970 something, can't remember, 75 or 74. They were simple, the engines are simple, you know, 4108 over there, even though it's a brute. The wiring was simple, so maybe I should stick with that. I like the classicness of it, and that's what's swaying me towards it. So there we go. So today might be boring for you, but it's a necessity. I'm going to film it because I said from start to finish it's boat restoration, and that's what it is. And this, you know, there's more than one window, so it's going to get filmed. So yes, there we go. I'm going to tackle this. So I'm going to use, to flat off, doesn't need much, I'm only after a key. I'm going to use some very fine paper. As I've just shown, I can show you there, I've just started to flatten that off. I'm just getting rid of what little shine there is on it, to be perfectly honest. And then we can use some etch primer and get cracking and get these painted, because I need to leave these at least a week. With the amount of effort that goes into putting those windows in, you know, the paint's going to be soft, and we are at the wrong end of the year for painting. I haven't got an oven or as such, so things are going to slow down a little bit. So there we go. So I'll get all my stuff, well, what I'll do is I'll flat it all off first, and we'll be back very shortly. Okay, so it's Henry Hoovered cleaned, so that is all ready, nice and flat. Not too much in the way of breakthrough, but the this etch primer that I'm going to put on is going to take care of that. It's pretty smooth, so that's good. I've given it a panel wipe as well. As you can see, the obligatory heat the can up gives us maximum amount of pressure to get that primer on. So that's going to be the next stage. So I will, and I'm going to do it out here because there's little or no wind. So, and stops overspray going on there indoors over there. So that's what we're going to do. So I shall just give that a coat, and then you can get back once I've done some of it. So I shall see you shortly. Okay, so that's had a few coats. I've just got to give a little bit down there, but that's the stuff I'm using. You want to take a picture of that. I actually got that off Amazon. They got 3 cans that were on offer, and it's well, it's spraying very good, and it's got the fan tip. Makes such a difference having spray coming out in a line rather than a circle that the old cans used to do. So that's great. So, and of course the pressure is obviously better. Also, make sure when you do spray, as you're going around, make sure you do these areas around here as well, because it has a canny knack of catching you out if you don't. And when I say canny knack of catching you out, there's a good chance you'll get a reaction if you don't cover the old paint, which is what etching primer is. It literally blocks out the paint that, you know, most people don't know what's on it, so they use car spray shops, they put a barrier coat on, so then it eliminates all the trouble and the hassle of anything reacting. They put something like this on to give them a blank canvas. So we'll just allow that to air dry off, and I think looking at it, it dries off pretty quickly, and you do get a nice even finish on it, I've got to say. So there we go. We'll wait for that to go off. I suppose I better read the instructions of that etching primer to see when I can top coat it. Anyway, I will get back to you as soon as I've figured out what I'm going to do next. Right, so I've reversed it so you can see that obviously I've sprayed it underneath, and I've put it on some wedges down there, and I've found some score marks there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same, because the overspray is going to go over the top of it, so I might as well do it because there's some scars there. Even though it's on the inside of the boat, I think while I'm doing it, it's not going to take long to do. I think it's best to do it. So I'm going to primer that. Well, I'm going to sand it first and then primer it, and then you'll get back to me. I just thought I'd show you this. I'm very pleased I decided to spray this side, to be honest, because I found some brittle parts that once they were on there, you know, they could have spelched off as we were putting this window in. So as you can see, look, on those edges there, you can see the aluminium there as well. So, and there. So yes, I think it's definitely the right choice to do these. So I'll just give the areas that are shown, the aluminium is shown, and just give a light coat. Give those a double dose. As you can see, just give those, see what I'm doing as well. Just cover anything that's shiny. Can't see anything else, maybe over there possibly. And then we can give it a coat, a proper coat. See what I mean about the fan tip? How nice it goes on. And then of course we don't forget these edges around here. Obviously we've got that spar to do, but all these edges want doing as well. Make sure you don't catch the work that you've done with the length of the can. I've done that before now. and check your work to make sure everything's cool and everything's covered. You can see the finish you get, as I said on the reverse side. You do get a nice even coat. So last bit to do is this edge along here. Which is why I say, you know, you'd have to mask up the underneath if you were going to do this. So, makes sense doing the whole thing. I think everything's covered. So, there we go. We'll let that air off. And well, I think being safe and being the climate that we've got at the moment here, and now we are in, what are we in? October, yeah, October. I think I might leave that overnight and then come back tomorrow, although we have got some rain tomorrow over here. So, but I don't think it's all day, so I think possibly, because I'm a bit reluctant, as I say, to spray in there. I think I might come back tomorrow and give it a top coat. So there we are. Yes. Anyway, whatever I do, you will be right with me. And welcome back. And we've got a fully charged battery this time, so you didn't actually get to see me finishing off the other side of this window, because I'm churning away thinking everything's fine, and it wasn't, because the battery went dead. So you will get to see this side. There's a bit more work involved with this one. As you can see, there's a little bit more prep, bit of fillers going on here. The primer filler didn't fill what I wanted, so I've had to use some body filler, which is fine because we've got etch primer on there, so we've still got a very good key, and also over on that side. But I have to say, looking at the other side, if I just put you down a second there and flip this thing over, which I can do. There we go. That is probably the best. I can put that, that's better. Best spray job I've done in a long time. I don't know why that light's got off. But that is lacquered and looking rather good. In fact, to be perfectly honest, it's put the rest of it to shame that's already on the boat. So yeah, sometimes you can do too good a job. But yeah, I'm hoping to get that I'm going to do that small window the same, because these two will be on the same side, so I'm going to do the same to that window there. But yeah, you can see how even it is, and that etch primer's definitely made a difference. I can tell by the way it feels and how well adhered it's gone. It's I think that won't chip at all, so I'm very pleased with the finish on that. It looks good. So we're going to try and get that same finish on the other side. But before I can do that, I'm going to heat up that filler, because it's only a real small scrim of a thickness, and then we're going to rub it down, put a little bit more primer over the top of that, and then we'll get on with some top coat. I bought some more of the paint here. Can't believe how much it's gone up by. It's astonishing how much it's gone up by. I used to be able to get this for UK pounds around £8.99, £9.99 per can, and I've just bought 2 cans, £15.99. So cost of living is through the roof, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. Right, I'll turn it over and I'll start doing some work. See you shortly. I just thought I'd show you this because this is worked out. The sprayed side has worked out so well. I don't have to buff it or take any overspray off it. It's actually turned out way better than I thought it was. So it would be prudent, if you do the same, to mask off these areas, because it would literally, the overspray would get underneath and then it would end up feeling like that. So if I were you, as I'm doing, I would just, for the sake of 10 minutes, just mask off where the 5mm lip is on this side and that side, well in fact all the way around actually. Just as you can see, I've stuck some blue tape on that lip and then cut some, what I've got, paper interliner for floors. I mean, you could use lining paper or anything, into strips, and then just stuck it down this side, so then you can fold it over, and it just protects your work and saves you time having to, well, it saves you just time really. For the sake of 10 minutes, I think it would save you a couple of hours or more just buffing up or removing the overspray that you're going to create when you do the other side. So I just thought it would be a good idea just to show you that. You may have already decided to do that anyway, but I have to admit, on every one that I've sprayed, I have not done this, but the finish on this is so good, I think it warrants it. So that's what I'm doing. And they always say it's all in the preparation, it's not the actual finale of painting, it's the preparation that counts, because you can see your preparation through your paint if you don't get it right. Right, so I think that'll hold. Everything is covered, so that's good. So I can flick it over, because there's a bit of wet and drying to do on the other side, so that will also protect it as well. So I will move you out of the way. There you are. You can see what I mean by that lip there. I go right under. I've just masked up to that level, so everything I spray on this side will hit exactly there, because that, don't forget, the gasket, the WR69 will cover that anyway, so that'll be good. Right, there we are. Bit of prep work. So I'll put you over there, flick it over, and I'll start doing a bit of sanding. And I'll see you very shortly. Right. Okay. So as you can see on this side, 99.9% of the filler is now been taken off. And as you can see, I haven't broken through anywhere that is aluminium, which is exactly what you want. Now I used, this technically isn't wet and dry. I haven't got any or any other grit other than the Thousands, which is wet and dry, but you can get away with dipping it. I know it soaks through, but it does the job. You can get most of it out. If you use Thousands, you'll be here all day, because Thousands really is taking out the finer scratches, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to take the finer. Now if you're doing a car and whatnot, you'd use a block to keep your work flat, but we literally are talking of something of this size, and it's small, and you know what, it's a boat, it's not a car that needs to be concourse. But all I'm doing now is just taking the final bit of white that you can see and feathering out the yellow. There, that should do. Sometimes you can just go overboard with if you're not careful. So that side now is ready for a quick blow over with the etching primer, just to take the yellow out of the way, because yellow is an extra coverage. You're going to use more paint than necessary. In fact, I might use it on this lip here as well. Just take a bit of that yellow off. There we are. Right, that's really smooth, so we'll move on to this bit here, and we'll do the same with this. So, as I said to you before, this stuff isn't actually wet and dry, but it helps you keep your paper wet and your work wet, and it cuts through far better, and you're in control of it better as well. Not too much pressure at all, just let the paper do the work. And although you think you're not getting anywhere, you are. Be careful of your edges, you'll cut through those edges far quicker than you will in any of the flat areas. You can see the paper's just breaking up a bit, or should I say the grit's coming off the paper. Right, we'll just have a look at that work, see what we've got to play with. Yeah, you can definitely see it's coming down now. Time to get rid of that paper and get a fresh one. Check your work. Okay, that's good. You can see it's getting more see-through as we go along. So we're slowly getting down those layers. And you do have a tendency, the more filler you put on, the longer it takes to get it off. And if you don't get it off, you end up with a subtle lump. You'll be amazed how much paint shows your work underneath. You'll be amazed. If I left that there like that now, that would show through. So I need to remove as much of that away as possible. You can start to see where the work I've been filling in round there. So the work I now need to do is, I've obviously reached the point where I don't want to be taking any more of that off now. I need to be concentrating on those two bits. That should be enough, because the thousands will take care of that. There we go. So we've got a few nibs on the edges. Just tidy up our work around here, and then delicately, really gently, just throw your paper over the edge, using the weight of your thumb only, not to take too much off, but just the nibs. There's a nib there. I think we'll go on to thousands now. Oops. There we go. Now, if I get a sharper edge on there, right. So if we just feather out at these areas, the sides, I think that now, if I was a blind person, I wouldn't be able to tell that there was anything going on in that area. So that's fine. that's good. Right, okay, so I shall clean up this area now. Where are we? Are you working? Oh, good. I shall clean that area up all around and get it ready for just a bit of primer, and then I'll heat that up, get that to cure off. It takes about 15-20 minutes for that to go off. I mean, we are in a cool, damp environment, so the heat gun is a major thing that you need to eradicate having micro droplets of water, etc. And then once we've got to the stage of we're ready to put some primer on, put some top coat on, you will be back. See you shortly. It's blowing in. Give it another dry coat over the top. Should be enough. Trusty gun. Right, put this thing down. There we go. So we're back to where we want to be now. In these corners. Yeah, okay, so I'm happy with that. So we'll heat the we'll heat one of those cans up, and I think I'll go over with the gun again, make sure that primer is as hard as it can be, and then we'll start putting some coats on it. So stay tuned. I just thought I'd show you this. So it's had two really good quality coats on it. I don't know whether it shows it up. It does look glossy over the camera, but it isn't. It's like a satin fit. Well, it is. It's called satin actually. And you can see it's quite openly grainy, which is exactly what you want, especially if you're putting a clear coat on top. The most important thing in spraying these type of cans is to try and get the metallic to be as even as possible. Don't ever look for a shine, because that's in the next stage. So as you can see, the grain is it's all evenly coated. all the way around, because the next stage is putting the gloss on it, like I said with the other side of it. And those imperfections that we filled in, I can't even remember which side it was. Which side was it? It was over there, wasn't it? It was over there somewhere. But that's all gone. So that's good. I'm very pleased with the with that. Now we've got to test. That's sticky. I'm just going to run the heat gun over the top of it, ever so gently, because I don't want the metallic to be wet underneath and a crispy top. We just want it to be nice and tacky, ready for the clear coat. In fact, I've just reminded myself to put the clear coat in the bucket, which is what I'll do. So I will see you shortly after I've put the clear coat on. Right, it's lacquered up. You'll have to forgive the mask because I've only literally just put the can down. Now what you're trying to achieve is this. You want it as milky as possible without putting too... It's hard to describe, but I've put on way more than you think, and it looks really milky, and you think, well, you can't even see the metallic. Trust me, that will sink and bond into one. It'll all sink into place, and the metallic will come through. It'll be absorbed by the paint that's underneath it. And as you can see, it's really creamy on the top. You get a good glimpse of it there, like that, with the light. It's really, really wet, that. And the secret is to look at it, but don't touch it. And don't do any more to it, because you can go overboard with it and it's curtains. There you are. Beautiful, that. Looks nothing at the moment. It looks like it's wet, but trust me, in the morning when we have a look at it, that metallic will absolutely pop. It'll be perfect. And that's the finish we wanted. In fact, I'm annoyed because that's the finish I wanted with the rest of them. Anyway, you live and learn, don't you? Right, well, we shall resume tomorrow. Have a good evening or a good morning, and I will see you later. And a good morning to you on that internet. Today is going to be, hopefully, a very good day, because we're going to attack the main window today, and we've got a guest coming, and he will be giving us a help. But you won't know who that is until this goes out, because this will go out before the main one goes out. So we're hoping to film episode, I think it's 58 actually, in one hit, and then that'll go on probably next week. Anyway, going on to that spray job I did last night. Here you go. It hasn't turned out as well as the other side, unfortunately. We've got a bit of hazing in certain quarters. You probably can't see it in this light. The overall, I'm happy with the overall metallic. That's good. It's nice and even, and there's plenty of lacquer on top. What I will do is, because there is plenty of lacquer on top, I will use probably 2000 paper, and I will buff that out and get it so it's even all the way around, because this is the side that's going on the exterior, so this is the one that's open to the elements, and I would like it to be spot on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that out of the way, because we're going to need this trestle over on the other side, because we are going to be putting the window in. Yes. So I will leave this and I shall put it online, and well, we'll see how we get on today. Bye for now. And a good morning to you all. It's a boring day here in the warehouse because I am continuing painting the windows. Yes, I know, it is. I can see you now going, not another one, not another window. Oh my God. Well, I'm going to spare you all the work that's involved in turning that miscoloured one into that, which is the current 2025 version of the colour that I originally sprayed it. And as you can see, I like chalk and cheese. So let that be a lesson to you. Only spray your windows if you're going to do them all at the same time. And if you're going to do them well in advance, make sure that you put them away gently, out of the way, where they won't get damaged. Because this is the reason why I'm having to do them again. And this is the final one. Now, just to let you know, this was meant to come out before episode 58, but alas it didn't, because obviously we had an extra pair of hands helping us, so everything was quickened up, and that took precedence. But I'm proud to say that the first main window is in place, which is looking rather nice, don't you find? It really is starting to look like a proper boat now. So yes, I'm really pleased about that. I have to just restore the sliding mechanism in that, but as I've just found this morning, this one here, I don't know if I can do it one-handed. In fact, I know I can't do it in one-handed, but if I just put you on the tripod side of it, just aim that down like so, I have found, just put that out of the way so I don't make any more damage on it, but this actually does work. So all really I need to do, the gaskets are really good in here, so all I need to do is get behind this glass here, clean it, clean that stem there, and we're good to go. So yes, it should have been done beforehand with the other one, but I don't think I'm going to have much trouble, he says. So I'm pretty sure I can get that clean while it's up there, and I'm sure that mechanism will work, because if one works, I'm sure the other one does. So there we go. So then yes, we've got then that to do, but do you know what, once we get the other window in this, and then I can concentrate on the inside of the boat and just put all the fine embellishments and just get it all cleaned up, get the front section completely done, and then we can then close that off, move further forward to where the kitchen area is, and then concentrate on getting everything into position. So that's probably what the winter's going to be all about, because obviously we're governed by weather, and I think it's all going to be all the fiddly jobs that need to be done. And the fiddly job that I'm going to do now, I'm not going to make you suffer with it, because you know how I'm spraying, you know what I'm doing. So I'll crack on with that, and then, well, I'll just talk to you when I'm done. So go and have a cup of tea. Stage one. Key work. Make sure you take all the shine off the existing paint. Any loose paint, make sure you get that right down to where there's no more loose paint at all, and mask up well. That's your first stage. Once primered, leave it, allow it to cure. Step 3, check your primer or your etching primer, make sure it's ready to go, use a tack cloth, get it ready for the top coat. Pressurise your top coat, colour obviously to your choice, and give it its first coat. Step 4, after third coat, first coat being a dry coat, 10 minutes later putting a slightly heavier coat on, 10 minutes later putting the final coat on. As you can see, you've now got a satin finish. Allow at least 15 minutes for it all to tack off before we go on to putting on the lacquer. Step 5, after one dry coat, leave for about 5 minutes, then put your balance of your lacquer on, and leave for 24 hours. Job done.